Bend over to your right.
What the was that?
What's up, Bears fans?
People want to hear me talk.
What's going on, Bears fans? And welcome to another episode of the Nicholas Moriano Show. I am your host, Nicholas Moriano. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, of course, share this YouTube channel with a fellow Bears fan. And hey, look, I think it was just fitting. I have about an hour before I'm going to take my fiance out for our early Valentine's Day. As you guys know, like, it gets crazy with reservations and on the actual day, which is tomorrow, Saturday, but we're going to celebrate today, have a nice date planned. I have this bad habit, you guys, of always ruining surprises for my fiance. She always asks, what are we doing? What do you have planned? What's going on? And I always end up just saying something, giving too much information, and then I end up ruining the surprise. But I have lips sealed, haven't said anything. She has no idea. So should be a fun time. But I think it was also really fitting given Valentine's Day is right around the corner, but also the love that I'm seeing from national media when talking about your Chicago Bears, right? If you haven't seen the but an article from ESPN titled 2026 NFL Predictions, Super Bowl 61 Picks, MVP Candidates. Guys, there's a lot of love, and I just think expectations for the Bears and specifically Caleb Williams. And let's just kind of get right into some of the analysts, what they had for some of their predictions. They asked, 11 NFL experts, ESPN, were asked about some of these predictions and what could possibly happen in the 2026 season. I see some people just hanging in the chat here. Let's go. Appreciate you for hanging out here. I know it's spontaneous, but ESPN article had these subcategories. What's your early Super Bowl 61 pick? We got Matt Bowen, my guy Matt Bowen. You know that Matt Bowen and I we went in the same school track record. University of Iowa, DePaul. And that's my guy, Matt Bowen. Here's what he has. Bears over Bills. Chicago needs to add pass rushers, but the foundational players are there on offense under coach Ben Johnson. With quarterback Caleb Williams' playmaking ability, the Bears will beat Josh Allen, Joe Brady's Bills to win Super Bowl 61. Let's go. And before I kind of read some of the other analysts and their predictions and what they have here, I think this just really illustrates how far the Bears have come in just one season under Ben Johnson. From winning 5 games in 2024, going on a 10-game losing streak, winning the last game of the year against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field, but to go on the trajectory and the season that they did, these predictions are not outlandish. They're not bullish. They're not crazy out of nowhere. Not if you are a believer in Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and where this Bears team is heading. Absolutely not. So winning a Super Bowl, making a deeper playoff run, I think that's in the cards for the Chicago Bears, as long as they continue to, one, build through the draft, add the right free agents, and then everybody who's currently on the team that's going to be a big-time contributor does what they need to do going into next season and take that next step up. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do to go to a Super Bowl. But no, if you do those things properly, there is a realistic scenario where the Bears can find themselves in Super Bowl 61, right? I mean, just look at the New England Patriots and what their situation was and how they got there. Look, I get it, easy schedule going in, but you still needed to perform in those games, take care of business, go through the playoffs, get some breaks here and there, and you end up in the big game. The Bears had a lot of breaks go in their favor for the 2025 season with some of those comeback victories, but I also believe that you create your own luck. You put yourself in those situations. You still got to execute in those situations, right? So there's no reason why, in my opinion, the Bears can't be in the Super Bowl. They have to first go through their division in the NFC North. They're gonna Micah Parsons, Green Bay Packers. They're gonna be back. Detroit, I'm sure, is gonna still be a relevant team that already beat the Bears twice last season, but they're gonna be looking to make a comeback. And then whatever you kind of get from the Minnesota Vikings and their quarterback situation, I think just kind of hinders them at really being I think, true contender, because I'm just not a firm believer in JJ McCarthy. You're talking about wanting to bring in outside competition, veteran. Maybe that's a Kirk Cousins, who knows? But you still got to get through the NFC North. And if you could do that, come on the right side of those games, man, you have a shot. You have a shot. Okay, you know what? This is actually really quickly before I go into the next one. I have Bears Den 2696. You still at Marquee? I'm not still at Marquee. I haven't been at Marquee. So Marquee and we were doing a seasonal. It was a seasonal position basically until the end of December. So I've been done with Marquee for a while now, but over at the recap with David Kaplan making video content, and then there's some other workings going on here too as well. But yeah, so I just didn't want to make a big announcement out of it. It's like, whatever. I knew what it was going into the year, and the year ended, and boom, I'm still doing Bears content. But if you guys did see one of my colleagues, or my colleague at Marquee, Scott Bear, he's also done as well. And man, he was such a huge help for me all season. I loved working with Scott. Loved just being one. We sat next to each other at House Hall. We sat next to each other at the games at Soldier Field. He was always somebody that I could talk to, lean on when I had questions, someone that's been in the business for years. So I really appreciated everything he did for me this last Bears season. I wish him nothing but the best. And I know I'll see him again in some capacity covering another NFL team, but he's awesome. And I really appreciate everything he did for me. But yeah, I'm done with Marquee technically. Like I said, working with David Kaplan in the recap. So you'll see all my a lot of video content over there, but always open to new opportunities. But appreciate you, Bears Den 2696 for asking there. Let's go into the next prediction, because that was just one. Matt Bowen, Bears Super Bowl winner over the Bills. Sign me up. Sign me up. I would love to cover a Super Bowl. I would love to cover unfortunately, because of everything that was going on at the end of the year, I didn't get to cover the playoff games. I went to the Bears playoff victory over the Packers with my fiance, which was an amazing experience. I haven't been to a game as a fan before that one since 2019, when my fiance and I went to our first Bears game together. It was a victory over the Detroit Lions. So awesome experience. And I want to go back to Soldier Field in a playoff environment covering the game. That's next on the bucket list. The Bears just got to take care of business. Let's go to the next one. We have Graziano. Why am I blanking? Dan Graziano, ESPN. This is under who's your pick for next season's MVP. Graziano said Caleb Williams, quarterback, Bears. I see the arrow pointing up for Williams with Ben Johnson and a Bears team that arrived well ahead of schedule. Williams has that fourth quarter clutch gene, and even if the Bears fix their defense to where he doesn't need as many clutch performances, he should have plenty of opportunities to showcase his abilities in a tough NFC North. And that's what I was just talking about, right? It's going to start, I think, with the NFC North, where the Bears have to perform. But going back to just Caleb Williams, I just think another year in Ben Johnson's system, you're only going to see even better statistical output for Caleb Williams, but just playing the quarterback position. And what I mean by that specifically, he does need to improve the completion percentage, accuracy. And I get that there were drops throughout the entirety of the season from literally everybody. But for Caleb Williams, it is about hitting some of those layups, because we know the dude can dunk. We know the dude can make some big time throws in some big time moments, but it's when you're starting off a drive, it's 1st and 10. You have the check down in the flat. You can pick up a nice 5 to 6 yards there. And for whatever reason, maybe the ball is a little off. Maybe the ball is a little high, sails out of bounds. It's like that's an opportunity where you missed 4 or 5, 6 yards, whatever it may be. And if you can get that more consistently, all you're doing for yourself, if you're Caleb Williams, is you're one, making it easier for the offense to then go get that first down on second down. But also, I think it just keeps Ben Johnson in a nice rhythm as a play caller. Like if he calls a play knowing that this should be a nice 5 yards, and that's what he's thinking in his mind, then here's already the next set of plays after that. But it's when that first one goes off, is inaccurate, does not happen, then obviously you have to adapt, right? So I do think that Caleb Williams is more than capable of doing that, because what he has are some of the things that I don't think are coachable. The instincts in the pocket and the ability to evade pressure. That is something that when I was watching the Super Bowl, Drake May versus Seattle Seahawks, man, like there were times where I don't think Drake May had a shot, but there were just also times where because pressure was surrounding Drake, eyes go from downfield to looking at the pass rush in front of him, and then bam, gets sacked. And he was one of the more sacked quarterbacks in the NFL last season. And this is not to like harp on Drake May, but for Caleb Williams to take his sack total in his rookie season from 68 all the way down to mid-20s, man, I love that ability. It's Valentine's Day. We're spreading the love here. I love that ability for him. But now if you can just mix in the other things that make quarterback play what it is, then there's no reason why he can't go out and just be even much better than what he was in the 2025 season. Yes, he broke the single season Bears passing record, but low margin. We still got to get to 4,000. And he's more than capable of doing that. I don't know if anyone disagrees with me, but if he can fix that, just that element of his game, I have confidence that Caleb is going to get more confidence in the progressions of this offense, understanding when he can maybe adjust some things at the line of scrimmage more often, and just be that, going back to the basketball analogy, point guard. Just be the point guard, man. The point guard who has that ability to put the Superman cape at any point in time. And one last thing here. Ben Johnson said it, and I know I said this in one of my earlier videos, but just being an eraser for the offense, and what Ben Johnson means by that is when he calls something that is not the right play call because the defense has an answer for it. Caleb Williams could be the guy that erases that advantage that the defense has and makes it an advantage for the Chicago Bears. That's just his superhero ability. And that's why, like, when I see MVP talk, when I see Super Bowl talk, maybe we're just drinking the Kool-Aid. Could that be a possibility? What the Bears did last season, we're all just drinking the Kool-Aid? Maybe, but I wouldn't put it against them. Like I said, I don't think it's bullish or crazy. Don't think it's bullish or crazy. Here, I'm going to check out the comments real quick because I get so fixed. My camera's up here, not on my webcam on my laptop. So what are you guys talking about? Thanks for, I appreciate it. Nico Suave, thanks for your service, bro. I don't miss those days I was in Dubai in 2013-14. Enjoy being home. Yeah, I bet. No, I appreciate you. We have ESPN, Crash Aaron 88. ESPN says that Caleb is behind Drake, Jaden, and Bo Nix. How do we go from like loving Caleb Williams to be an MVP candidate to this? Behind Drake, Jaden, Bo Nix. So if I had to rank these guys where they're currently at, I look, I can go Caleb or Drake 1-2, 2-1, 1-2, 1A, 1B. That's where I think the top of this class is at. With Jaden, obviously he had a phenomenal rookie season, but I just don't. Now that you don't have your offensive coordinator in Kingsbury, there's some changes happening on that team. And can you even count on Jaden to be healthy? That's a very valid question for his career going forward. With the frame, how he plays, the running, the RPOs, it's very integrated into what he's always done. So I have concerns there. And then actually with Bo Nix, I don't have any issues with Bo Nix. I really don't. I mean, he was making some fourth quarter comebacks too with the Denver Broncos and his team with that defense. You don't have to be the best quarterback or a top 10 quarterback. I just think there's a lower ceiling for a guy like Bo Nix. Maybe that's wrong of me to say. And I'm not going to pretend like I watched every single Bo Nix game because I definitely didn't. But to me, it's I guess you got look. Drake was in the MVP discussion, and I know this playoff run, which was not great, didn't do any favors for him. But it would probably be Drake, Caleb, Jaden, Bo, Michael Penix, JJ McCarthy. And that's me, obviously coming from somebody who covers the Bears and knowing Caleb Williams' talent. But that's just right now where I think they'll eventually end up 2 or 3 years down the road. I don't think anyone's going to be topping above Caleb Williams right now. That's just me. So, yeah, no. And then here's a good point. 2024 is a really good QB draft. Caleb still goes 1. I still agree with that. Caleb still goes number 1. Completely agree with that as well. Caleb still goes number 1 if you were to redraft this. And I know that people do that exercise all the time and they go Drake or Jaden and then Caleb. No, I'm still taking Caleb. Dude, I feel like the one criticism that all people talk about is just the completion percentage. If he gets that up, good luck. Good luck, defenses. Good luck. And then we'll go to one last one here because my guy Field Yates, and I'm going to have to reach out to Field to see if I can get him on the show. Field's a good dude. This is for, what's the category for this one? This is make one big prediction about this offseason or next season. Field Yates said, Caleb Williams will become an all-pro. There was a ton of good in Williams' second pro season, but still so much room for growth. I completely agree. Williams' completion percentage will be the area that most point to, and I am bullish that number will improve dramatically next season. The Bears' offense should return mostly intact in 2026, and that familiarity will be instrumental in their franchise quarterback's development. Yeah, man, if you're getting MVP, I'm pretty sure you're going to be all-pro as well. I don't see why you wouldn't. The all-pro quarterbacks this past season, Matthew Stafford, Drake May. And yeah, actually, Nico Suave with the comments. Love it. He's played 36 straight games. I love that. I love that you love that comment and brought it up here because that's also another thing, durability. And Caleb, after his rookie season, those big hits, he didn't take as much of those. He knows when to slide. Maybe sometimes too early on some plays, but he just understands how to. The best thing a quarterback can do is be available. It's the exact opposite of what JJ McCarthy, Penix have done. And that is such a clutch thing to have, knowing that your quarterback is going to be there for you. So if he plays another 16, 17 game regular or 17 game regular season, yeah, man. And in Ben Johnson's offense, I feel like you're going to utilize Colston Loveland earlier in the season, Luther Burden another year in the season, whatever happens with DJ Moore, Rome coming back to full health, the offensive line being what it is, you still need to figure out your left tackle. That is a legitimate issue. Man, I really like the chances for Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, 2026. And even though they have a tough schedule, they'll face both teams that played in Super Bowl 60, the Seattle Seahawks, New England Patriots. But bring it on, right? Just bring it on. Let's see what they can do going into year 2 with Ben Johnson as head coach. You need to improve the defense. You need to add more pass rush. No doubt about that. Figure out who's going to be playing safety next season. But look, there's a lot of teams that have a lot of question marks. What I feel like is not a question, and maybe it's a little too crazy to say certainty, but I am just bullish, stealing the word from Field Yates there, that this Bears offense, Caleb Williams, are going to take that next step in 2026. A lot of love here, you guys. And you know what? Really quickly before I end this episode, because I really quick just want to get on here, share some thoughts, spread the love, if you will. Got to give some love and a shout out to my friends at Windy City Sports Cards. Of course, they specialize in buying and selling all things related to Chicago sports. So whether you're a diehard fan of the Bears, Bulls, Cubs, White Sox, or Blackhawks, you already know they've got you covered with an extensive selection of sports memorabilia and collectibles. So in addition to the Chicago-focused items, they also offer a vast collection of sports trading cards and memorabilia from your favorite teams and players. So visit their online store to find exactly what you're looking for to complete your collection or to simply discover a new favorite. You can check them out at 312-WindyCitySportsCards.com. That's 312-WindyCitySportsCards.com. And if you aren't already, you really should be. You should be following Windy City Sports Cards on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at 312 Windy City Sports Cards 1, at 312 Sports Cards 1. I think I just said it. That's the right one. At 312 Sports Cards 1. Follow them on Twitter. They have amazing giveaways, but it's just an awesome community to be a part of as well. All right, everybody. I really hope that everyone enjoys your weekend, whatever you're doing. And let me tell you this. Maybe, I don't know, I'm only 31 here, but just some advice. I was talking to somebody not too long ago, and they had nothing planned for Valentine's Day, and that's fine. Or maybe they were going to do some low-key. They were going to do some low-key. I just like to think that, we live in a social media world. Everyone's online, and everyone sees what everyone else is doing. And I just think on this day, even if you stay in, sushi night, watch a movie, wine, just tell that your significant other you love them. Give them a thing of flowers if that's their thing, some box of chocolates. Just even if you don't really do much on Valentine's Day, just that simple gesture can go a long, long way. I'm telling you from experience, about to be married next May. Little things, even if you're somebody that likes to stay in, be low key, and your fiance, significant other is like that as well. Just a little step, just to show that you're thinking about them, that you love them, and that should be the case every single day. But I just know on this weekend, Valentine's Day, we see a lot. We're gonna see friends that post these. Oh, look at what they did, and there's just this sense of like, oh, well, we didn't do anything. But that's everyone's at different circumstances. But just some advice. From me to you as you guys go into having hopefully an amazing weekend. Hey, the NFL Scouting Combine's coming up. Working on credentials, getting out there, providing Bears coverage. There'll be plenty of prospects to talk to. Plenty of Bears news as well. We'll hear from Ben Johnson, Ryan Poles. Maybe there's a stadium update. Who knows? God, just end that already. Just go to Arlington Heights already. But there's going to be plenty. So make sure you're tuned in here at the Nicholas Moriano Show. And as I said earlier, no longer with Marquee. Appreciate Marquee, everything they did. But where you also need to go and give a like, subscribe, comment, whatever, the recap. So REKAP, David Kaplan. You can do that, or you can just look up the recap and it'll pop up. That's where you'll see a lot of my stuff there as well. Everything that is going on at the recap: Cubs, White Sox, Bulls, and of course, the Bears. So make sure to go give them some love as well. Everybody, appreciate you hanging out. This is spontaneous. I'm like, let me get on here. Not, why not? Why not? Just start doing more things and not being hesitant, just not doing things. But I'm going to shut up and go to the date that I have planned. Hopefully I won't ruin it in the next 30 minutes. But everybody, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Bend over to your right.
What the was that?
What's up, Bears fans?
People want to hear me talk.